Hey there, good morning. I'm Don Shipman, and we're getting you up to date on some of the top stories and just some interesting things that are happening today. And one of the things I wanted to touch on right off the top is the government shutdown. The government shutdown being averted, by the way, during the overnight hours. We've been talking about this for the last couple of days, and there was a deal in place, bipartisan deal in place, and then at the very last minute, President-elect Donald Trump and Elon Musk posted on social media that they didn't really like the agreement, so it was back to the drawing board for the most part. But during the overnight hours, late last night into the overnight hours, lawmakers came together and they got together and got a deal done. Now, here locally, our local senators are reacting, and we also have Senator Raphael Warnock, who's going to actually be coming into town today. He's going to be landing at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, where he is expected to hold a news conference today, and he will be talking about this government shutdown being averted. So what does that mean? We talk a little bit about Hartsfield-Jackson. That means those TSA workers, they're essential workers. They would have to continue working, but they wouldn't be getting paid in the midst of this holiday rush, right? So that would have been probably a terrible thing for the TSA workers, and probably terrible for a lot of the people who are flying in and out of town for the holidays. He's also going to be touching on the fact that within that spending plan is much needed funding for disaster relief. We've been talking a lot about Hurricane Helene, for example, and all of those folks who are still really trying to clean up from the disaster. Money for that. And then also much needed money for farmers. So he'll be touting that at a news conference later today. We will have that for you later today as well. The other big story of the morning, this transpired late last night and into the overnight hours, is that manhunt in Coweta County. And we actually have some new video that I want to show you right here because they discovered him in Grantville outside of a small grocery store, kind of like a bodega, but in more of a country rural setting, I would say. And I want you to take a look at that right there. I believe we have the video right here of that, and you can see the chopper video there from when they were searching for this man. That manhunt now over after 3 days of searching. He was suspected of shooting at state troopers, hitting a K-9 officer in Coweta County. That police dog was actually treated and released from a veterinarian hospital. So that's the good news there. But right now, 51-year-old Ira Williams is now under arrest in police custody. That all taking place late last night at a store in Grantville. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation says that he was actually laying down in a truck outside that store when he was arrested without incident. We've actually talked with the mayor of Grantville as well. He's been very vocal on social media. That right there, by the way, is that neighborhood grocery store that you see on your screen right there. And he was found behind that store. We talked to the store clerk there. They said that he was actually coming into the store and getting some supplies and whatnot, and they recognized him. We've been posting that picture and stuff on our website, so the good news is that he has been found. Okay, so this is something that I think all of us kind of think about when we're heading into the holiday season. There's a lot of parties you're going to be going to. Well, what happens if you've decided to steer clear of alcohol? How do you kind of navigate the holiday scene? Because you know that every party you go to, there's going to be some wine, there might be some champagne, there might be some beer, that type of thing. How do you try to stay away from that? But you know what? There is this nonprofit here locally that is using technology to help all of those folks who are trying to stay sober during the holidays. And we have Atlanta News First Joshua Skinner with this story.
It's the last place men want to be.
When men come here, they are probably at the bottom.
But also the first place on a new path. Tucked between warehouses and Cumming is No Longer Bound, an addiction treatment facility for men.
Life is hard, and so life brings a lot of challenges.
That's why Carol Smith works here.
I had a son who was in addiction.
The year-long residential program counts nearly 1,500 alumni.
There's no phones, there's no computers, and there's very minimal television.
Which makes this all the more intriguing.
Connector Technologies is a software company that has created an app for professional business networking.
And founder Steve Eppinger wants the app to help No Longer Bound's growing alumni base keep in contact.
If I'm in a situation where I want someone to talk to, I can just open up the app and very, very quickly see, is there anyone else from the No Longer Bound program that's around me?
A more focused LinkedIn
fraternities, sororities, trade groups, alumni associations.
It uses preferences and a scoring system to find your group.
So that is our proprietary value score that we generate using AI.
Eppinger has a specially tailored version for No Longer Bound.
The opposite of addiction, interestingly, is not sobriety. The opposite of addiction is connection.
That's important during the holiday season when the chances of relapse are abundant,
It's just another kind of tool in the arsenal.
helping overcome by coming together and staying that way.
When they leave No Longer Bound, we want them to have connected relationships with each other. We want them to have connected relationships with their families.
Incoming, Joshua Skinner, Atlanta News First.
All right, I want you to take a look at this right here. If you, you got to see it, because that is an owl that's on top of the tree right there. And this is what went down. These are photos taken by a family. This is actually, it's not local. It's out of Virginia, but I just thought it was the neatest thing in the world because, you know, we put a tree topper on. We put maybe a star or an angel on top. Well, apparently this owl somehow got into the house, they believe through the chimney, and basically just pushed the angel off the top of the tree and perched himself right up on top of the tree. And look at how the lighting is just like illuminating him. He looks perfect. Looks like he's there to stay. They brought in a wildlife expert, and that wildlife officer came in, captured him safely, and basically took him out and put him back out into the wild. But I thought it was so neat to show for Christmas. Isn't that pretty? Yeah, okay. All right, so that is a look at some of the stories making headlines, some of the fun things going on. The owl, I had to show it. But we want to take a look at the forecast too, because it is a first alert weather day, and I think I want to show this right here. We can probably go to Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport right here, and you can see just how beautiful it is. It looks beautiful, but it's cold. The first alert weather day for the fact that it is so cold. We have Courteney Jacobazzi joining us now.
That's right. Yeah, get ready for quite the cool down on the way. It was near 60 degrees yesterday, and today will be about 10 degrees colder through the afternoon. Let me fix my perch over here, because for those of you who don't know, Dawn is probably a whole foot taller than me.
Just put us on camera for a second.
Hold on. I'm on a box like this tall, and I'm still shorter than Dawn.
So she gets up here, she's like, wait a minute, I'm way too short.
Hold on, I literally was covered by this banner right here. Okay, y'all, let's talk about the weather. I'm gonna put the Hartsfield-Jackson back for a second, and then we're gonna bring in my weather graphics so that you can figure out what's going on for the day today, because it's a first alert weather day for very cold air that is continuing to spill in. Yesterday, you probably noticed the wind. Well, that was kind of a sign that we had that very cold air starting to take over the forecast for the day today. When you feel that breeze, that usually means there's a change in pressure. That does mean there's a change in pressure, and usually that's behind a cold front. And boy, is it cold out there. We do continue our first alert weather day today for the cold air that is going to really take over the entire weekend there. So today and tomorrow cold, but today we wanted to give you that extra heads up that today's gonna kind of hit you pretty hard if you're not prepared for it. Make sure you have the coat, and it'll stay cold into the start of the week. But then going into the upcoming week, of course, we have Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Hanukkah, Tuesday and Wednesday being Hanukkah. It's going to get a lot more mild, and I know that's probably not something you want to hear, but unfortunately, that's what Mother Nature is gracing us with. And today, by the way, Mother Nature got the memo that it's winter. Today, the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year, and then from here on out, our days will start to get longer until the spring equinox, when we have about equal parts day and night. Here's a look at the wind chill for the day today. So it'll feel more like the 30s through most of your afternoon, only briefly feeling like the low 40s. Through the evening tonight, you'll want to keep the coats with you if you have any holiday parties to go to, if you're going to go look at some Christmas lights, if family's starting to come into town. Just make sure you're prepared. You have the coat, the hat, the scarf, all of it. All of it's a very good idea for today. You'll definitely want to bundle up. High temperatures at the surface without the wind will top out in the low to mid 40s, upper 40s for the city of Atlanta. Will be near 50 in Eatonton and in Thomaston, 49 in Athens, 40 in LJ. So in the mountains, barely breaking out of the 30s, just making it. You'll need to keep the heat cranked up the next several days. Tomorrow morning, we'll wake up near 30 degrees. A lot of our suburbs in the 20s. The breeze will continue to die down. You'll notice the breeze today, but by tomorrow, the wind won't really be as much of a factor. Highs in the upper 40s, so pretty much a carbon copy of today. Patchy frost possible in the morning, pretty cold in the afternoon. At least, you know, it's below normal, and but we won't be quite as breezy. Going into Monday, we wake up cold again, highs near 50, and then Tuesday, that is Christmas Eve, will wake up near freezing, but highs will be in the upper 50s, so closer to 60 degrees, and that will kick off a warming trend that continues into the Christmas and Hanukkah holiday. They're both on the same day this year. Morning lows will be in the low 40s, so as you're getting up, maybe opening gifts, having breakfast with your family on Christmas Day, it's going to be chilly. It's not going to be cold, and I know this probably isn't a forecast that all of you are super jazzed about for Christmas because we like it to be cold on Christmas. It'll be chilly. Highs in the upper 50s, so overall a pretty pleasant day, mostly cloudy, and we will stay dry. When it comes to who could see some snow on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, you have to go all the way out west for that. Very progressive pattern out on the west coast. There's been a lot of weather systems rolling through. They have impacted us. Some of them have brought rain, others have not. But either way, it looks like out in the Rockies, parts of Colorado and New Mexico could see some winter weather for the Christmas holiday. Otherwise, it's just rain for most of us. Thursday will start to increase rain chances, so just beyond the holiday, a few showers possible Thursday. This is the wetter model of the two, so the European model you're looking at. And Friday could potentially be quite wet as well. There's still some fine-tuning to do with this. We're keeping about a 40% coverage of rain right now for Friday, 20% for Thursday. Our other long-range model we usually look at keeps us pretty dry, so definitely some fine-tuning to do with the forecast. It does look like we'll cool into the low 50s Thursday and Friday. A wedge may build in, and so that could keep us pretty cool. And if you add rain to a wedge, that reinforces it and usually keeps us even chillier. So something we'll be watching very carefully for you late week. In the meantime, our first alert weather day today. For the cold day, it'll stay breezy with highs in the upper 40s, low 40s in some of our suburbs. It will feel colder, waking up near freezing tomorrow. Again, a lot of spots below freezing, highs in the upper 40s Sunday. We'll go back near 50 Monday after a cold start. Some patchy frost is possible both mornings, so something to keep in mind as you're getting up and at it. Give yourself a few extra minutes just in case you have to get some of that light frost off your windshield. And then Tuesday, we'll wake up in the low 30s for Christmas Eve, highs in the upper 50s. We'll wake up in the 40s on Wednesday for Christmas and Hanukkah with highs in the 50s that day as well, closer to 60. And then we'll introduce rain chances Thursday and Friday with highs dropping back in the low 50s. And the rain chances, the temperatures for late week, they're all pending. So there's a lot of fine-tuning to do with that late week forecast, but we will continue to monitor it for you and give you updates on it throughout the week. All right, everyone, bundle up today, stay warm, enjoy your weekend. Hopefully you're not running around too crazy trying to get all your last-minute things done for the Christmas and Hanukkah holiday this week. Hope you make it a wonderful day today, and we'll catch you here next time.